Let's take a journey with The Last Unicorn. Das letzte Einhorn, or in Low German, Das letzte Einhorn. I love what they did with this cover. A very nice package. I wish there was a lot more of this out there. I've begun to notice Germany seems to be something of a hub for 3D Blu-ray. Not only do they have many exclusive releases, but there are also a lot of oddball conversions, such as this one, that are produced there. Although many of them are terrible. All right, traveler, let's journey on into this one. What do we have here? A flawed but still enjoyable 3D conversion of a cartoon made in 1981 or 2, I forget. It stars the voices of several still recognized actors, which is remarkable for, 40 years later? And going in, I thought I had never seen or heard this before. But right at the end, there was a talking skeleton that somewhat jogged my memory when he says, but I remember. It just kind of woke something up in memory land. And so I vaguely recall that I probably did see this at some point as a kid, but I can't remember well enough to tell you what my impressions might have been. From reading up on it, I get the impression lots of people saw this as kids, and it seems to have meant something to many of them. As a movie, it's a bizarre experience. I found I kept expecting it to cross the line from bizarre to incomprehensible. Thankfully, it never did. Remained very watchable, and in hindsight, after it was over, I noticed an appreciation for its oddness began to develop, and there were actually ideas introduced in this movie that give some pause for thought. Like the movie itself, the 3D also seemed to be teetering on the edge of acceptability. I don't know if it's an auto conversion or just done very quickly. It seemed like though they had trouble painting the depth within the lines of the characters, so you don't get a hard cut between character and background. What you end up with are outlines where the background bumps out toward the figure, as if the picture were an etching stamped on a metal plate. Which is weird in that it does actually kind of work despite the warping. It's not great, but it does make for an okay experience. The biggest stereo errors seem to pop up when the camera pans across a landscape, which fortunately is somewhat rare, probably because that was a tricky wow shot in the 70s. My guess is there was some human input into this conversion. It does seem to demonstrate a very basic understanding of matching the stereo with what's important in the shots. Pure auto-converts tend to occasionally invert stuff and generally ignore where the attention should be. And I didn't see anything like that. The more unfortunate thing about this conversion is the numerous missed opportunities. Now, some of the misses in terms of opportunity were scenic shots where foreground elements had a few layers nicely spaced out, but the rolling hills in the background are left flat. There's also a scene with apparitions where I imagine the skilled 3D really could have been used to create some interesting holographic effect. Again, it's okay, and I'm glad it wasn't anything as lazy as Dune or as thoughtlessly automated as, say, that Valhalla movie, but there was potential here for so much more. It's actually just good enough to make me want to see it done even better.